Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Know Your Town, the show where it's all Saugus all the time. And as always, I'm your host, Andrew Whitcomb. I am joined by some incredible people because I like to feature organizations in town. I started this show because I got tired, not politically, but I got tired of seeing people misunderstand the function of government or blame the wrong department for something if it went wrong. So I started interviewing town officials, elected officials. We've had the Essex County Registry of Deeds, LYIN Duff, on the show. We've had, some of the other heads of committees. Deborah Panetta from the Board of Selectmen is going to do an episode with us soon. But that leads me to today's guests, the Saugus Lions Club, as you can see by this beautiful banner hanging behind us. Anthony, would you introduce yourself?
Sure. Anthony Speziale, current president, but also soon to be the outgoing president.
Gene Decaro, just a Lions member.
All right, in the back there.
Michael Murphy, and I'm the current treasurer of the Lions Club.
Excellent.
Nelson Chang, and I'm a director.
Well, Anthony, Gene, Michael, Nelson, thank you for coming on the show today. We're happy to have you. Like I said, we focus on what's good for Saugus. We like to see organizations supporting the community, supporting the students, supporting each other. Yeah. So why don't you give me a little bit of background on what the Lions Club is?
Well, if we want to go way back in 1917, a group of businessmen in Chicago got together and formed a club that is generally for community service and for world good. And it was in Chicago. So the Lions didn't pick it, but they got together and they were doing community service. And actually at that time it was World War I.
Yep.
So they were putting together to support the troops there. So since then, it stood for liberty, intelligence, our nation's safety.
I didn't know it was an acronym.
Yeah, it is an acronym. So in 1925, Helen Keller came to the annual meeting in Chicago.
Okay.
And since then, the Lions became Knights Against Blindness. And that has been our major charity, a major focus since 1925. That, along with community service, is where we've been existing. So there's been a lot of improvements, a lot of stuff going on to hopefully end blindness one of these days.
I didn't realize there was a focus on blindness charities.
Yeah.
Now, how long has the chapter, I don't know what you would refer to, how long has the Saugus branch of the Lions Club been running?
I could say it was the year Gene was born here, 1929.
1924. So what you said,
1929.
I'm sorry, I would have assumed older than that. So, I mean, that's amazing. Even 1929 in Saugus, there's been multiple wars since then. We've rebuilt, That's what I like to see. I like to see long-standing organizations that become part of the community. In our last episode, we had Donna Manugian and Lorraine on from the Saugus Garden Club.
Yeah.
Both of them have just turned 80 and said that the Gardens Club is as old as they are. There's a perfect example of a group that just wants to make people happy, wants to help where they can. I think of you guys, I think of the Garden Club, I think of the Elks, Knights of Columbus. What does it mean to you to work for, I'll field this one to Nelson. What does it mean to you to work for an organization like this? Because I know you guys have day jobs. Anthony, you're a business owner, but to have this be a part of your life.
It's extremely rewarding. The charitable work that I've done over the years has been far more rewarding than the actual practice of law. In the district, other than the Lions Club here in Saugus, I also sit on the Visual Aids Foundation, and for which I've been a past president and one of the early organizers. We give out equipment to those who are visually impaired, and in more recent years it's been more of the elderly, but One of the more rewarding things is to be able to give a piece of equipment to a child
Right.
and have them look and say, I've never been able to see before. We give out that type of equipment, and it tends to be pricey, but we bear that burden. Unlike other organizations, other charities, when you give to us, 100% of the net actually goes to charity. Our administrative costs are completely borne by our members.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's amazing. I guess it sort of leads into our first photo here. The viewers at home should be able to see this on their screen. This is the Lions Club toy drive. This appears to be in front of the senior center. And I'm going to make a note here. In the front row is Corrine Riley, who is currently on the Board of Selectmen, but she will be the president after your term is up.
Yes.
So tell us a little about the toy drive. I imagine it's a holiday thing.
Yes.
How does this work? Can anybody just donate a toy? Are we finding families that need them? Are you bringing them to the Salvation Army? What's going on?
Okay. We are in a partnership. It was started by retired Captain Bill O'Malley, Saugus Fire Department, and we work with the Saugus Fire Department on that. Now, we have gone back, I guess, since I've been a Lion, which is 25 years, and Mike, you can, all of you can expand on that. But every year we do an annual toy drive.
Yeah.
That particular one was done during COVID because normally we would have it on our holiday party and folks and members can drop toys off.
Yep.
That one was done because of COVID and we couldn't have a party. So we went outdoors and here we are, all bundled up, and we had a toy drive and the public came up and supported us, and we wound up having about triple the amount of toys. Now, to answer your question about who gets the toys, really it's retired Captain Bill O'Malley. It is them in the Saugus Fire Department that they actually take the calls of request to families that unfortunately are having difficulty financially and so can't afford toys for their children.
That's, I guess they say, God's work. I recall years ago, this is a bit of a funny story, a bit of a pivot, but when I was a kid, my elementary school would have these, every year they would do these raffles at the school. They'd come over the loudspeaker and they would give away Thanksgiving dinners. Mm-hmm. Well, they made it sound like they had a big hat, with every kid's name in it, or maybe one of those big bingo rollers, and they would just pull them. Yeah. Well, they know who was getting them. Somehow my family won 6 years in a row.
Oh,
I'm thinking
okay.
there was a few of us. I'm a quadruplet. There was 4 of us. We had better odds. Well, no, doesn't work that way. It was. I'm not gonna name her because she'll be on the show at some point. An employee of the town who happened to be on the PTO at the time knew who was getting them. They knew which kids needed them. So we won every year. We called down to the office, and you walk out with a gallon of cider and a turkey and a whole bunch of fixins. And I guess you can only imagine the faces on those kids, when Santa Claus brings them a present.
Yes.
Or in this case, the Saugus Fire Department. And I can tell you, there's nothing else like it.
And if I can expand on it for a minute.
Please.
Not only do we do toys now, but for the last 4 years, we've also supplied between 4 and 5 Christmas trees with all the ornaments, so they can also set up their Christmas tree and the ornaments and put the toys underneath the tree.
That's amazing.
But there's a story, and this is the one that touches my heart. A couple of years ago, my wife was involved with the Knights of Columbus, another plug for the Knights of Columbus.
We'll have them on the show too.
Yes.
Mark Pennett has already said yes.
Great. But they were having, they were doing their outdoor fair.
Yep.
And my wife,
I remember I was
my
there.
wife Karen, she lovely woman.
Absolutely.
My wife Karen, she friended one of the other table vendors, and that table vendor donated 12 puzzles. And the reason why is because she was a single parent about 20 years ago, and between working a couple of jobs and all the bills, there wasn't much left for toys for the children. We helped.
Yeah.
We helped, got in touch with Captain O'Malley, and she says for a couple of years in a row, thanks to our toy drive, they were able to get toys for the children. So that sticks in my head.
Once again, it's incredible work. I mean, Gene, you've been around this town a very long time. We touched on it before the show, but I think the first time you and I officially met was at it was a pie social for one of the churches.
Yeah.
And you went off for 20 minutes about how great your banana cream pie was. In fact, you started criticizing the other people's pie and how it wasn't superior to yours. What does it mean to you to be a part of such a friendly, warm organization? I have a new picture up on the screen here. Same banner that's behind us. Does the LYIN have a name, and how often does Gene wear the suit?
Well, I don't. What I do is try to help others, because that's what LYIN is. When I joined the Lions Club years ago, the thing that touched my heart was there was an elderly couple in Saugus that were going to be evicted from their home. The Board of Health called the Saugus Lions. We went down and we were able to put in heat and a watering system and save their home. That's the important part.
That's why you do it.
We reach out to help those we didn't need it.
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like that. And I know that's not the only story you guys have, right? Mm-hmm. I could say that about a lot of the organizations in town.
Yes.
You know, Healthy Students, Healthy Saugus is a group that supports nutrition and takes donations for food and from the food pantry and sends the kids that need it home with a lunch bag, groceries, bread, perishables, fruits. For a while they had coupons from McDonald's. They got in touch with the local McDonald's affiliates and they would send each kid home with a stack of coupons for free meals, just
Yes.
because the calories were needed. You know, that's why I like to see groups like that pop up as many places as they can. We've got a photo here from one of the town parades, actually. You guys always have a float.
Yes, we do.
Float in the parade.
That's Lily.
Lily?
Yes.
Lily the lion?
Yes.
This looks like an old photo, too. I mean, I remember being in those parades when I was a kid, when I was in the Scouts, and it's hard to miss a giant animated lion. Michael, first of all, how long have you been with the organization? And do you have any memories from your time that you say, this is why I do this?
Well, approximately 45 years I've been with the organization. I've been the treasurer for the last 30 years, I think. And the magic word, as was said before, is rewarding. It's so rewarding to do for others that need it in so many different ways. It would take us hours to count them all. And our main function, our main charity is Mass Lions Eye Research. And we give almost as much to community, schools, veterans, YMCA, everything you can imagine in town. And we have donated, just in Mass Lions Eye Research, in our history, we've donated approximately $450,000.
Wow.
And and that doesn't even count the community things that we do. So we are everywhere doing things. If a child is in school and he needs glasses and they can't afford glasses, we have an arrangement to get them an exam and glasses with no charge. And just little things like that.
Yeah.
So rewarding and so pleasing to do for others. And we have a good time doing it.
Right. Well, I mean, when you're, there's sort of rewarding part of that, but then the way I look at it, and I disagree with me if you let me know. There's this sort of pillar of Saugus side of it, right? I know the Lions Club donates trees, but you guys also have a tree in the annual tree festival in town, at least one tree.
Yes.
I know you and your wife have donated trees in the past. Yeah. Because she also works at the Meg building during that time. That's one of my favorite events in town.
Yeah.
But the reason why, obviously, because I win every year. And I get to bother Janice.
I don't.
The reason why that's one of my favorite events in town is because, let's say they get 40 trees, each one of them is from somebody different. A different household, a different restaurant, a different business, a different organization. And you really get to see all the different things that Saugus has to offer. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have families donate trees that they've decorated just because they wanted to go out, buy a bunch of decorations and have some fun. Mm-hmm. Or there are groups that will pick a theme and put in a bunch of gift cards and say, let's hope a kid wins this one. There was a Super Mario tree last year, and yeah. I remember watching a kid get excited just to put the tickets in. That sort of thing always brightens my spirits. And when I see organizations trying to support that effort as well, they're all right in my book. Like I said at the top of the show, that's why I started it, so that we could talk about stuff like this. I've got a photo here from one of your meetings, which are typically held at Pocari's. Mm-hmm. You were gracious enough to invite my mother and I at one of your meetings a few months ago to talk about the cable station and some of the services we can offer. Mm-hmm. But give me a little background on what's going on in this photo.
We've made an emphasis for the last couple of years just to mix and match all the organizations, all the nonprofits in Saugus.
Yep.
So the Saugus Theater Company was one of them. Also, we have the Garden Club as guests. So you're going to see more photos like that.
Yep.
But just talking and the nonprofits just helping one another.
Right.
And we happen to go to that play.
Theater Company in Saugus is a great group.
Yes.
Now, I've got a few more photos I want to show here, and then I've got some more questions for you guys. Up next, I heard before the show this was taken last week. I don't know if that's true.
It's true.
This is in front of Stop and Shop, I'm guessing. You guys were fundraising for eye research?
Yes.
Now, Gene, you're a rather social individual, so when they send you out to Stop and Shop to butter up the community.
Stop and Shop was a good location. They put us there because they didn't want an old man out in the street collecting.
In traffic, that's right.
Yeah, right. Now, we had great reception. The people were wonderful.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's what you hope for.
We couldn't do what we do if we didn't have the support of the community. And we're very grateful for their support.
We're certainly grateful to have you guys. Nelson, I've got another one for you.
Okay.
So over the years, Saugus has changed quite a bit. We've had, in the last 20 years alone, new high school, renovations to the middle school, new playgrounds. We've finished a walking trail. I don't want to just ask what are your favorite things about Saugus, though that is one of my favorite questions to ask, but to be part of an organization and sort of see the community grow around you, are there any moments from the past 20 years that you can think of? For me, it was being at the groundbreaking for the new high school. I've still got a photo of me behind the town manager and the team are standing there with their little shovels and their hats, and to be there at the groundbreaking. I actually signed one of the beams too. And now to go by that school, I think, I am so glad I got to see this. Do you have anything like that?
Perhaps. Not such a lines. It's what we've done for the community. I mentioned that we give out equipment, and we've given out equipment here in Saugus. There are a number of people over the years that have received equipment. At the library around the corner, just a few years ago, we gave a CCTV, which is a video magnifier, which we had actually given one previously, but it died, so we replaced it. Back, you may not remember the old senior center, which was at the head of Adams Avenue in the old stone building.
Yep.
Now, that was the original senior center, and at that time, town as usual was short of money, per usual. And to obtain a van for the senior center, that was actually jointly purchased by the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, and then the Route 1 Businessmen's Association, of which of the three of those, we're now the last one standing.
Yeah.
So we've tried to give back community whenever we could. And I don't say it's a single, it's basically a communal thing. We have done our best to try to improve the community whenever possible. You mentioned the turkeys from when you were growing up. Over the years, we used to, with Thanksgiving, we would get a request from the churches and whatever for turkeys or meals or whatever. And we would do that. Oddly enough, we haven't gotten that request in the last few years, which has been surprising.
Well, that could be good. That could mean everybody's getting turkeys.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So it's a communal thing we try to give back.
For as long as I can remember, I think the Lions Club have been around. There have been some incredible members. Corrine, obviously, all four of you. Peter Rossetti is a Lion as well. There's a great bunch of people.
We have longtime secretaries sitting
Yes, we
in
have
the
some
studio.
members of the audience today.
Yes, Patty Fierro and Arlene Decaro, who's also a Lion. Yes, his lovely wife.
I'm sorry.
You're not alone.
We did give her a badge of honor.
I think this is the badge of honor.
That's the burden.
I get in trouble if I was to say something, so I'll keep my mouth
Yeah, we
shut.
don't swear on this network.
No.
I can't say it enough. There are so many great groups in this town, and in Massachusetts, I hope I can talk to them all at some point.
Yeah.
Obviously you guys take donations to support the blind, visually impaired children, of course. Do you offer any scholarships? Is there anything that somebody watching this would? Let me ask it this way: if somebody watching this show, what can they do to help you guys?
Michael, you're on.
I'll take that. Yes, scholarships, yes. We, for many years, have awarded 2 scholarships to Saugus High School and 1 scholarship to the Northeast Regional Vocational
I went to the
School.
vote. Excellent.
And that's one of, as I said before, one of the most rewarding things we do every year is to get 80 or 100 applications for scholarships and pour through them to find the most deserving and needy candidate to present these scholarships. Very rewarding and appreciated by the school.
Well, I can say as somebody who needed scholarships to go to college and just finished my master's degree, thank you. You know, to any kid that's lucky enough to receive a scholarship or has worked hard enough and wrote the best essays and got the best grades, you need the money. It's just how it works. You know, the cost of college has ballooned over the last couple of decades, and I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon.
No.
You know, Anthony, can you walk us through some of these patches we have on this banner behind me?
Oh, sure. Just a few of these. We have some Club Excellence Awards, which is actually determined on the district level.
Okay.
So, and we were fortunate that we happened to be one of the top clubs, and we're very proud of
Not
that.
surprising.
And there's some of the patches here, but there's our 75-year club, our 75th anniversary. Last year was our 95th anniversary. And other cool ones, the Journey for Sight, which is our main focus is to donate to eye research, and that's just to name a few. There's many.
96 years for an organization in town. Have you guys got anything planned for 100?
A huge bash, just a huge bash.
Assuming Gene is here to see it.
Gene will be here to see it. Gene will be the master of ceremonies.
Like I said,
Good Lord willing.
now I will let the audience in on a little secret. Gene is quite the auctioneer. When my mother and I went to your meeting to speak about the cable station, you had a couple of baskets to give away, and Gene stood up at the end of the meeting and started auctioning off the items. Now, I won one of them, but it's because I outbid my mother with her own money. I don't remember how much it was, but I turned to her afterwards and said, "Ma, can I borrow,
Yeah.
whatever?" And she goes, "Somehow I had a feeling you were going to do that." She should be here someplace. She helps me run the show. We're winding down here a little bit. I've got a few more photos I want to show off. This one you'll have to look close to see, but the Lions are coming. And you've got all matching jackets. I like that. Do you remember, Anthony, do you remember this photo?
Actually, I was not in attendance on that one, but everybody else was.
Damn, I'm a lousy interviewer.
No.
I picked the wrong person. Nelson, what about you? Michael, what do we think?
I'm trying to remember.
You think, is that Topsfield? A number of years
You
back.
know what? I think it is.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
It is Topsfield.
Topsfield.
A number of years back at the annual Topsfield Fair
Yep.
show, you know how they have the parade starting the parade?
Yes.
We participated in the parade that year. And so it wasn't just Saugus, there were clubs, representation from many of the clubs in the area.
As you guys have stated, the never-ending fight for the Lions Club is the end of blindness.
Yeah.
Winning the fight to see. It's going to sound stupid, but I've always been able to see.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on it earlier, but maybe you can go in a little further. When you get a student glasses,
Yeah.
when I found out I needed glasses, I remember not being able to, it was 7th grade. I remember not being able to see much and teach, I'd move up closer to the board. Eventually they said, go get glasses. Completely different.
Yeah.
you know, even treating colorblindness or some of the other eye stigmatizations, for example, or, you know, getting surgery to correct astigmatation. That's something I have experience with. When you guys sit and think about the amount of adults, kids, elderly that you've helped over the 95 years of the club's existence, even the money to fund the research that will eventually lead to a cure, does it make the difficult parts worth it?
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, I imagine there's stress that comes with running events like this and heralding an organization, and you're not sure if people are going to show up, and you want to make sure you raise as much money as you can. What's it like to see that to the end?
Tough one. We have a member, a female member of the club that is blind. And I talked to her the other day and asked her if she would write a book about her experience when she could see and going through what she went through. And she's blind now, but gosh, you'd never know it.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And she said she might do that.
I think
It would be very good for people that are suffering with bad eyes.
Because now, the power of the internet, if you just Google National Geographic with blindness, it's just going to blow you away as all the advancements that had in medicals. It's just in medicals. I mean, right now, it's all, and the thing about it is, it's all in human trial now. You know, such as they're putting computer chips into your retina and computer programs to attach it to the optic nerve, so that some folks that are totally blind can actually one day see, you know, and that's experimenting going on.
Almost like a cochlear implant for your hearing.
Yeah.
That's
or
incredible.
the Scapins Institute in Boston, they're currently trying to regrow eye cells that were damaged from head injuries. And there's just so many, so I encourage just go and Google that, and just you're going to be blown away.
Well, I mean, Nelson, Gene, I'm sure you guys can agree with me on this. Notice I'm calling on the people that have glasses. Yeah, they don't get better. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and we don't need glasses.
Right.
Right. And even when I was correcting my stigmatization, you know, I had 4 eye surgeries by the time I was 12. And the doctor was incredible, but they basically all tell you, you get to, you know, every 2 years, come get your prescription checked, and it's going to get worse each time.
You know,
Gives
you'd
me
make a
something to look
good
forward
member
to.
of the Lions Club.
You don't say.
First Wednesday of the month at Pocari's, 6 o'clock.
We were going to get to that because we do have to
Once
wrap
a
up
month.
in a minute here. Once a month, first Wednesday of every month at Pocari's. Even if you're not a member, please consider coming and sitting. There's, you know, joining them for a meeting or two. There's pizza, there's salad. You might hear Gene give away a raffle basket for $4. Like I said, we're running out of time here, so I do have to close out the show.
Mm-hmm.
I can't thank you guys enough for coming down here. All 4 of you coming down to the studio to sit with me for half an hour. It's the best part of this job, to show off groups like this. And I hope the Gardens Club is around for another 95 years.
Well, thank you for the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Of course.
Thank you for having us.
You know, on that note, it's time to end. Please consider donating to the Lions Club if you can. Come and see Gene, come and see Anthony, Nelson, Michael. You might even run into me at a meeting once in a while. First Wednesday of every month?
Yes.
First Wednesday of every
September
month.
through June.
Perfect. at Pocari's on Route 1. We will put the number and the email up on the screen now. Like I said, anything you can do to support an incredible organization. And on that note, I will see you on the next episode of Know Your Town. As always, we have a bunch of guests coming up. I'll be filming these all throughout the summer. Stick with us. If there is anything you want to see covered on this show, any group, any town department, any organization, please reach out to SCTV. My name is Andrew Whitcomb. They're the Saugus Lions Club. It's been an honor. We'll see you next time.